We are live, guys. Welcome to Wednesday Puck Time. I am, of course, your host, Carmine Bianco. And today I have a special guest with me. Andrew McInnis has the day off. I think he's celebrating his victory with his 5% play. Colorado team total. Congratulations to him. It hits in the first period. But I've got the next best thing, or maybe even better. Brian Leonard, fresh off of Total Bases show. Brian, you're up early today, man, in Vegas. That's got to be like a 5 or 6 a.m. start time for you.
Back to the 6 a.m. starts for the next 6 months. We've got to do it that way because Brandon's in Tokyo, and I think it's 1 a.m. his time. So luckily I'm a day person. So by the time I get on this show, I'm already got half my day done.
That's it. Your coffee or your Baileys or whatever you drink, tea. For me, it's tea. It keeps my throat, for the most part, from drying up on me. But thanks, everyone in the chat. Kylie, yes, we're going to get that pod going. Titans, Nebraska, Ron Mexico. I'm not really sure which one that is. But as you guys join, do us a favor. Hit that like button. Only a couple of games in the NHL, but some intriguing plays that we're going to be able to discuss with the Boston Bruins and Buffalo Sabres and the New York Rangers and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Currently, only two of these teams in a playoff spot right now. The other two are dragging up the Eastern Conference. So it's an all-East discussion today, Bri. That's got to be good, no?
Yeah, I noticed that. Nothing on the West Coast today. So if you're a hockey fan, your day is going to end early.
Yeah, and if you're a hockey fan, Bryce, some of those games, some of those results yesterday are just beyond what I expected in the NHL. Minnesota Wild looked like they were coasting against the Tampa Bay Lightning, and then the Lightning just flicked the switch and won that one. The Islanders, a big loss for the Islanders at home, which drops them out of a playoff spot. The Canadians do the Sabres a favor and beat the Hurricanes. So the top spot in the East could flip tonight in that one. Detroit and Ottawa. I'm not sure if you watched any of that game, Brian. I watched a bit of that game, even though I didn't have action on it. But Dylan Larkin is not liked by many. I think he ran into who was the goalie for Ottawa yesterday? Ullmark, I think it was. Bumped him. Zub went after him. Brady Tkachuk went after him. Dylan Larkin doing what Dylan Larkin does, which is get under people's skins. And then the West, as we know, Brian, and the Pacific, the Vegas Golden Knights. I got to stop judging them on one very strong period of play because they go into Winnipeg and lose 4-1 after beating Dallas. Yeah. I don't get it. Then Dallas loses to the New Jersey Devils. The Nashville Predators continue to win, score 5 in the first period. The LA Kings pick up 1 point in OT. They really needed 2 against the Calgary Flames. The Oilers win and the Ducks win. And we're right back to talking about that race in the Western Conference, Bri, and who is going to make it and who doesn't. You're a Vegas guy. What's up with the Knights? Do they make it? Don't they make it? Or is it just we're not going to know until the last week of the season?
We were out last night. Rob Bino was in town. We all got together. His son plays for a band, and they were touring here in Vegas, so we got to go see him. So Ted Sobransky was there. Ski, who does NBA basketball, and he's a real nice guy. And Rob Bino and myself. And so we're at the Yard House. 18 people at the Yard House. They have TVs everywhere. Not a single game was on not a single TV was on the Golden Knights game. They were playing exhibition baseball instead and other things. I turned to Ski because he lives here in Vegas, and I said, what the hell's going on here? And he goes, what a difference 2 years makes. And I said, yes, it does. I hope this town doesn't turn into one of those towns that gives up on their team too early and only wants to back a winner because I hate those towns. And those are the ones I usually root against. If you're in one of those towns, I'm sorry. But yeah, this is a team right now. They've got all the offensive firepower in the world and can't score goals. The defense is playing better for the most part. But the goalie's been good. But there's something wrong with this team. I've said it all season. When they get in a spot where you would expect a really good effort, they don't show up. It's like they're walking through the entire season, don't care as long as they make the playoffs. And unfortunately, because this division is so bad, maybe record bad, that they continue to not lose any spots in the standings because everybody else is losing. And I made that as a comment yesterday. I said, the first thing you got to do when you're handicapping the card right now is try to find a Western Conference team that's not playing a Western Conference team that's favored.
It's unbelievable right now. Yeah, the Vegas Golden Knights holding on to third in the Pacific, just because the teams that are behind them in the Pacific aren't winning games. Like the Kings dropping a point. That is a crucial point to drop against the Calgary Flames, because it puts them on 75 and only 3 back with a game in hand. So you are right there. So dropping that additional point hurts for them. You have the Seattle Kraken with a couple games in hand. They'd have to win both of them. They're not playing very good hockey at the moment, but they'd have to win both of them in order to get it up to 76 points and 2 points back of Vegas. And then you have the San Jose Sharks, who have lost now 5 in a row. They have 3 games in hand, but what difference does it make if you're not winning any of your games at the moment? But a 3-game win streak by them would put them 2 points back of the Vegas Golden Knights, who have a goal differential of absolutely 0. It is 0. 225 for, 225 against for the Vegas Golden Knights. Nashville Predators playing well. And I keep getting that guy Kopech or whatever telling me put some respect to their names. I still have trouble, even with teams that are in a playoff spot, when you're minus 20 in goal differential. I have trouble putting much respect on it, but we'll see what happens with them. I think Nashville are the benefactors of, like you said, Bri, the West and the Pacific specifically being so bad that they can't win. The Anaheim Ducks are at 84 points. You got the Oilers at 79. The Ducks are in a great position to win that division right now. 5 points up with a game in hand on the Edmonton Oilers. So Oilers only have 10 games left themselves. So I don't know the way it's going to shake up. The St. Louis Blues keep doing, winning a few games. The Blues are like 7-2-1 their last 10 games. You have the Winnipeg Jets, who seem to be hanging around, but they're still on 72 points. It's so tough to make up 5 or 6 points with 10 games left. Agree?
I agree. And I want to talk about, if you don't mind, when we finish this, I'm going to talk about something in general I think is a good betting strategy when you're looking at the NHL.
Yep. So looking at the NHL, Brian, let's kick it off with the very first game of the night. This is the Buffalo Sabres and the Boston Bruins. Bruins, second of a back-to-back. Allmark was in, not Allmark. Swayman was in goal last night in the loss to the Maple Leafs, who, even this one is confusing to me, and I'll get to it in a second, Brian. But Sabres minus 203, the Bruins plus 164. Total sits here at 6.5, shaded a little bit to the over. We're going to see for the Bruins, in all likelihood, Korpisalo, because it was Swayman in goal last night. The Bruins have the Leafs' first-round pick, and it's almost like 2 mushes in once. Not only losing at home, but losing to the team whose pick you own, that you want to beat them so they can finish in the bottom 5. I just don't get it with this team. Or actually, no, if the Leafs finish in the bottom 5, the Bruins do not get their pick. Is any other pick. Is that correct? I think that's correct, if I got that right. Might have screwed that one up a little bit, Bri. Well, I'm looking at it this way. My thoughts, and I'm going to toss it to you. Bruins, second of a back-to-back, haven't been a very good team in that situation. But away, their last 10 games on the puck line, the Bruins are 2-8 on the puck line. I'm normally not a puck line player. I've played maybe a handful, 4, maybe 5 all season long for clients, but this might be a spot to take the Sabres on the puck line. What are your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, Boston had the last 2 days off before facing Toronto. It is the second of a back-to-back, and then they get the next 2 days off. So they've got even though it is the second of a back-to-back for Boston, it's probably been a pretty good week for them with having this extra time off. Take a look at Buffalo. Buffalo is coming off of a 4-game road trip. They won the first 3, all in impressive fashion, against 3 contenders. Then they play Anaheim, and they went to overtime and lost that game. So they are coming home off of a loss. But overall, if you had asked them coming out west if they could go 3-1 against teams that are in the playoff position, they'd gladly take that. They have had the last 2 days off. They play Boston today, and this is the first of a bunch of games at home. So you've got a Buffalo team who's been very good at home all season long, playing in their favorite position here, which is the home favorite. But first thing I looked at, I thought the line was really high based on Buffalo coming home for this. And then when I take a look at what the goalie situation is, Buffalo, I don't think it matters who the Buffalo goalie is. I don't think there's a drop-off. I think there's a huge drop-off for Boston in that regard. So that's part of it. Playing the second of a back-to-back is part of it. I wanted to look at that game, and I'm an underdog player, and that's what I want to talk about when we get a little bit of time today. But so the first thing I'm looking at is trying to find a way to play Boston. They were a 153 underdog overnight, and they've been bet up everywhere. A lot of sharp books out there got them as high as 174 now. So the wise guys, the guys who bet for a living, are all on Buffalo here. I can't find a way not to go against Buffalo here. So it's either find a way to play Buffalo or I'm not involved in this one.
Do you think this is one of those ones, Bri, where, and I know you're not a props guy. If Andrew is here, he might be looking at like the shot props or the goalie save props and maybe looking at Korpisalo, figuring the Sabres are going to get some shots on goal. Try and take the game maybe to the Boston Bruins early in this one. The fact that they're on the second of a back-to-back. The Bruins have beaten the Sabres in 2 of 3 games this year. I think one of them went to OT. All sort of low-scoring games as well too. It's just one of those ones where I get where you're coming from. Maybe look for different ways of playing it. I don't think anyone wants to lay minus 210. It kind of almost reminds me of the Monday night game where Andrew and I discussed the only game on the night, which was the Rangers and Ottawa, and it just seemed like the world was on Ottawa. They won the game 2-1. It's all that really matters. But the Rangers practically didn't show up with only 4 shots, I think, for almost 2/3 of that game.
Yeah, I forgot to mention that the Buffalo first came back off of a extended road trip, 6-1 on the season. So they're a young team. They are able to come back from that and do very well. So if there's people out there that are interested in that, they've been very good in this position before, playing a Boston team and second of a back-to-back with a goalie. They should be able to have some good value here with. So maybe Buffalo team total over. Buffalo regulation, maybe. I'm not a regulation kind of guy for the most part. I don't want to lay the 1.5 for the most part, but if you can find a way to play Buffalo on this, you should be in a pretty good spot. But keep in mind, hottest team in the NHL, and you are playing them at a high level right now. So that's enough to keep me away from betting this game itself.
Every once in a while, I want to highlight some ones, but there is no way that with 10 games left and trying to win the division, the Atlantic Division, and the number 1 seed overall, which they're currently 1 point back of Carolina with the same amount of games, that the Sabres are going to rest any players in this one. So Patton, I hate to... Regardless of what the final result is tonight, all the guys are going to be out there. Alex Tuck, Tage Thompson, Rasmus Dahlin, they will all be out there in full force. Josh Doan, the Sabres are playing well. Brian, they're 12-1-1 since the Olympic restart. that break. 12-1-1, one loss. One regulation loss, I think, came, I think, in their first game. I think they played the Washington Capitals, and then the other loss came against Anaheim at the end of this road trip. So normally I would probably be on the fade train, a team off a West Coast trip, but having the extra day's rest against a team that is playing the second of a back-to-back, I think those two sort of even things out. I'm gonna take that puck line thing and just fade the Bruins on the puck line, where they're 2-8, their last 10 away from home on the puck line, and that price comes in at let's have a look. That price comes in at a juicy -1.5 plus 122. So I'll take the plus 122 on this one. Brian, before we get to this next game, and then of course a pod play. Talk to me about baseball, man. It's like right around the corner.
It is hours away. Probably about 11 or so. Yeah, their start today. The Yankees are at San Francisco. It's going to be on Netflix, I guess. We'll see. I don't know. They're making a big deal out of this game. Obviously, they're going to have some celebrities and stuff there. I don't really care about any of that, but I know the baseball is around. And tomorrow and Friday, there's more games. If you are looking to play tonight's baseball game, don't go crazy because it's the first day of the season, their first game. It's on TV, whatever. What you want to take advantage of is tomorrow and Friday, because the tournament's going on those days. And with the tournament going on, everybody cares about the tournament, which is why we love having hockey and NBA on those days that we can take advantage of it. So there's going to be much better choices to make the next couple of days in betting baseball than today.
So I would think, if nothing else, because they can purchase the package or the deal and start it, let's say hypothetically tomorrow on Thursday, for you, the buy 3, get 3 days for free. It is such a popular option at WagerTalk that they've kept it going. It was supposed to expire a little while ago. They kept it going, and you're going to have baseball, NHL, the March Madness, the Sweet 16, in which I think you have a big play up for that as well too. What better day than than pick up 6 days for $69 and get 3 of those? I'm not going to tell people to grab your package, because that's a buster thing, but grab that deal for you. I think that's a great deal.
It definitely is. And chances are I'm not going to have anything big today. I'm not going to have anything in hockey, unfortunately. I'm not involved in the baseball game. So, yeah, get it tomorrow. And you mentioned the big play we got on Friday. We got a 5% play in college basketball. And the big dance so far, 2-0 on our 5% plays. Loving this game on Friday. I'll be putting up Thursday and more Friday basketball up. Baseball tomorrow, we'll have that. And obviously, as I just mentioned, when everybody's paying attention to the tournament, they'll be paying less attention to the sports like hockey and baseball days too. But tonight's one of those days that I can prepare for tomorrow a little bit more, because other than some final touches in the NBA, I may be passing on today's card.
All right. There you have it. You can just pick it up and you get to choose the day and where it starts. So you can choose Thursday. Speaking of ignoring some plays for today or teams, shouldn't we be ignoring these two teams at the moment? Let me get them back up there. Sorry, Bri. The New York Rangers, 1 day's rest, minus 118 in Toronto. They're off a loss on Monday night to the Ottawa Senators, a 2-1 on home ice, where they continue to score 2 goals or less, it seems, at home. I think that's their average, is under 2 goals for the New York Rangers. At home, they get the Maple Leafs off a win in Boston against one of their heated rivals in a game that means absolutely nothing to them. And the Leafs return homer and minus 102. The total sits here at 6. I'm going to let you go first on this one, because my thoughts on this game will also be a pod play.
Okay. Well, we got the Rangers here. They just beat Toronto at home on the 5th, so it's somewhat recent, the last 3 weeks. They win that game 6-2. And it's not many games that the Rangers have won at home. In fact, since that time, they played 5 games at home. They won 1. They beat Calgary, lost to the Kings, lost to the Devils, lost to Ottawa, and lost to Winnipeg. So, but now they're at their preferred position, being on the road. They won 3 out of the last 4 on the road. I talked about it earlier in the year. I talked about how good the Kings and the Rangers are on the road consistently each and every year. The Rangers have been just as good this year on the road. Problem is, they've been horrendous at home. Last few games they've been playing, somewhat on the lower scoring end. 3 goals in the Ottawa game, 5 in Winnipeg. But against Colorado and New Jersey before that, they had 9 in those 2 games. So we're looking at something. The total in this game right now comes in at about 6, slightly to the over. So they're playing a little bit more free form than they were earlier in the season, despite the last 2 games going under. For myself on this game, when I take a look at Toronto is playing the second of a back-to-back, but they had this previous 2 days off. So you got second of a back-to-back against third game in 4 days. So I'm not sure either team has a rest advantage here. They both traveled. We've got a Toronto team comes in. They'd lost 3 in a row, got that victory last night against Boston. They got the next 2 days off, whereas the Rangers have to play again at home on the 27th, which is Friday, against Chicago. So I thought the game would come out around the pick'em area. Maybe the Rangers slightly favored. They opened in the 112 range. Now I'm seeing upwards. One offshore that I respect is in the 130 range. Money's coming in on the Rangers here. Smart guys are betting the Rangers. I don't know if I'm smart enough to follow them on that. It's getting to the point where you can catch Toronto as a home dog in the 112 range. How I can't see, as bad as Toronto has been, and I don't like to play Toronto, but it's getting to the point that they're kind of forcing you to look that way, aren't they?
Yeah, it does. You know what I mean? Like, if there's the one sort of caveat, or when you look at this game, the one thing that maybe sticks out just a little bit is the fact that as far as goaltending goes, the goaltending advantage lies with the New York Rangers, as we should see Igor Shesterkin in goal tonight, only because I think Jonathan Quick has an injury. So it's Joseph Wall versus Shesterkin. And Shesterkin essentially kept them in the game on Monday night against the Ottawa Senators. It's just the Rangers just couldn't score, couldn't get any shots on goal at any point. But I get it. The Rangers do have, 19 wins on the road. They do have 15 wins in regulation, which is the same amount of regulation wins on the road as the Carolina Hurricanes, and they're fourth behind Tampa Bay, Buffalo, and then I believe Ottawa and Pittsburgh both have 16 road wins, and then you slot in the Rangers at 15. So even though they have, I think, the 11th best road record, they do seem to win games on the road. At home, it is feast or famine, and it's famine for them. They just can't seem to do anything. So you guys let us know in the chat who you guys think is going to win this Leafs one. I know Lex is in there saying, trust the process, take the Toronto Maple Leafs at plus money if you can find them somewhere. It's going to be an interesting game, Bri. But with that said, I'm going to change things up a little bit. Give me a second here, guys, because Andrew, who's normally here to be our tech advisor, is away. He's in the car listening to the show right now. But that brings me to the pod play for today. So let me get this pod play up there, and I'll keep Brian up there as well too. This is today's pod play. We need to get back into the winner's circle with this one. The Rangers and the Leafs, first period over 1.5 minus 130. The current bankroll is at 72.11. here's some interesting numbers for you guys. The Toronto Maple Leafs in their last 10 home games have gone over the total, first period total in 9 of them, 9-1. The New York Rangers, an equally 9-1 on the road, first period overs. And you can actually go a little further back than that with the Rangers, and there's probably like about 12-1 the last 13. But last 10, both teams 9-1 in this exact situation of Toronto being at home and the Rangers being on the road. So that is your pod play, guys. Brian, I know you're not a first period totals guy, but you kind of got to stick with what seems to be winning. 90% clip the last 10 games for both teams.
I'm not a huge prop guy, and I don't even know if this is available. But with the Rangers, they had 4 shots on goal in the first 2 periods of the last game. What about shots on goal for the Rangers in the first period? Can you get the first period? I know in the game you can get it. But if you get it in the first period, you would have to think that's the goal of the team, is get out there and try to beat them down the ice and get some shots on goal. And just as a comedy segment, you would think when there's a wall in front of the net, the other team wouldn't score. Toronto's got the only wall in the country that can't stop a puck.
Yeah, he's like the Berlin Wall. It came down, which, the interesting thing is, Brian, it took me probably like my 30th visit to Vegas, and I've been there like 70, 80 times. I've been to Vegas. It took me to like my 30th visit to finally go and piss on the Berlin Wall. That you can do that, guys. There is a piece of the Berlin Wall on Fremont Street.
Main Street Station.
Yeah.
An actual piece of the Berlin Wall. And that's the one
bathroom.
thing and they have if you're cheap like I am, they got a really good buffet at the Main Street Station, by the way. the home style cooking, fried chicken and that kind of stuff. But that's the thing. Anytime I take them there, I said, they got a great parking lot right here. They validate your parking lot, your parking. You go in, you get the buffet, and you go piss on the Berlin Wall.
Yeah. What better, you think of all the things in history, and what better feeling than pissing on the Berlin Wall? And after that thing fell, it's kind of like, if you have some of that soil from the last time, the dirt roads in Toronto, the last time the Leafs had a Stanley Cup parade, there was no paved roadways back in 1967, which was the same year in which they
did have shoes, I hear.
They did. Sandals, but yes, sandals. Also, the color TV was invented in 1967. So I have fun with Toronto Maple Leaf fans because all of my friends are Toronto Maple Leaf fans, but they have not won a Stanley Cup since the expansion era. There was only 6 teams when they won a cup. They had a 1 in 6 chance. If I had a 1 in 6 chance of winning something, I think I could do that.
It's our friend Fezzik in the Westgate contest. We had a list. Fezzik's a friend of ours, but he won it back-to-back years or whatever. That'll never happen again, by the way. There's just too many people in it. But he was very good at the time. We were friends at the time. We're still friends. But so I went through him with the whole thing, and congratulations to him on that. But yeah, anytime there's more teams, more players in the league, all this stuff, it's a different time. It's a different day.
Yeah. Brian, listen, I'm super excited, even though tomorrow I will not be on the show. It'll be,
makes us all excited.
Yes. Yourself and Andrew and Don Buster will be making another appearance tomorrow. But I'm super excited about first pitch and being on first pitch tomorrow.
Yeah, we did first pitch today. Found a way. We're trying to change it up a little bit. If you haven't had a chance to watch it, go back. I believe you can get a little bit of information there on the one game tonight. Tomorrow, can't wait for my 6 o'clock wake up call and start at 6 o'clock Pacific tomorrow. But really excited about the baseball season. Last year, we put out a parlay every day. We each gave one leg to the parlay. I said, I'm not a big parlay guy. This thing's good. We're going to end up losing money on this. We went the entire season and we made money on the season. I'm so amazed that we were able to do that I'm going to try to do it for you again this year. I'll give you some best bets. But that goes on at 6. I'll be back here. Am I back tomorrow? I'll be back tomorrow, right?
Yes, you are.
Okay, and Friday, I believe. I can't get
can't get
time
enough
off
of
with you people.
I can't get enough of you. It's listen, when you bring the numbers and the stats, and you're beloved in our chat, everyone absolutely loves you. So a great way of showing that they love you is by picking up your buy 3 get 3. I'm not gonna say it by grabbing your package, although I just did. I don't know why I keep saying that. I don't know why.
It's in your head
But
now.
it's in my head. I am off to Buffalo on Friday. Probably the draft room, which is a sports bar near KeyBank Center. If you're in the Buffalo area, pop by for some afternoon drinks. I will buy you a beer, some wings, whatever. But Johnny and his beautiful wife Paula will be there, and my friend and I are driving over. I'm hoping that there are agents working at the border, so I can get through. So just let me through, man. I have Nexus or whatever. Just let the guy through. I got Nexus. It's all good. Okay, Bri, let's close this up before I get Andrew giving me a hard time that I'm on first pitch tomorrow and he's not.
Well, I came on to ask him if he wanted to be on because we're having somebody might not be able to make it, and he's not here. Do you want to do it?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm doing baseball this year. I'm going to compete with you and Tokyo Brandon and Don Buster and Trig. I'm going to be doing baseball all year long, and I'm looking forward to it. This is going to be an epic summer for me with the World Cup, with the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs, and with baseball. So absolutely, if Andrew really wanted to be on the show, he would have been here today doing this one.
Yeah, though it may be only one-time occurrence. So yeah, it's too bad. It's too bad.
Yeah. Okay, Bri, before we close it out, what do you got going on at WagerTalk? Any plays that are loaded at the moment, and then anything that might be happening tonight?
Yeah, I've got a 5% play right now on the Friday Sweet 16. I wanted to talk about. We're run a little bit on it. I want to talk about betting underdogs in hockey. I'll do that some other time. I'll be here all week. I feel like I'm at tip your waitresses. But yeah, and really looking forward to it. There's going to be really good bets in baseball and hockey the next 2 days with the tournament going on, I believe.
Yeah. Well, it's been a good tournament for you. I had a client send me a message about you, Brian, at the start of March Madness. And he's like, I bought Brian's 5% play. This is what it is. And I go, oh, I love that play. So I played it as well, too. That was the Purdue one.
So
and
it just cost me $25 that you would have bought my play?
So I owe you $35. So when you're here, 35 is like 200 Canadian with the stupid exchange rate that we have here. So I'll get you a half-hour counseling with the Prez. It's about $35 US.
I'll pay double to not do that.
But I'm looking forward to seeing Johnny and his wife on Friday at the game. The line is still 195 on me tossing an octopus onto the ice in front of some Red Wing players after a Sabres goal horn. I've been harping on this whole thing for a while now that watch Detroit go into Buffalo on Friday and shellac the Sabres. That would just be miserable. But the Red Wings need victories. Bri, thanks again. Looking forward to having you on the show tomorrow. I'll be listening to you guys as you make fun of me on tomorrow's show, much like we made fun of Andrew on today's show. And you have Don Buster joining you. Anytime you can have Buster on the show, it is always a positive as well, too. Guys, for myself, soccer resumes on Thursday with some Euro qualifying for the World Cup. The semifinals, there is 8 different semifinals going on tomorrow. I'll have plays on 3 of them, and I have a 5% play up tonight in the NHL. You can get that over at my page, wt.buzz/CB. For myself and Brian, guys, hit that like button. We really appreciate you guys tuning in each and every day, and we'll see you on Thursday.